This video app review is brought to you by the iPhoneAppReview.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Luke Patrick with the iPhoneAppReview.com. We're slinging out yet another video review today, this time taking a look at an online application for the iPad and the iPhone. This is a universal game, and the game in question is called Galaxy Empire. You can see it on my springboard right there, ready to go. And it's worth noting right off the bat that this app is kind of a combination of classic strategy-style board games, a la Risk, but it's also combined with a lot of modern RTS elements in terms of building buildings, gathering resources, and conquering new areas. So that's pretty fantastic, and we're actually quite enamored with this game. We'll show you more of it in just a second, but before we go any further, this app is free in the App Store, meaning it won't cost you a dime to give a test drive, and you might really like it as we did. So we're going to go ahead and hit it and then jump into things. We are going to have to tilt the iPad, so sorry about this, guys. We're going to have to readjust, and I'll try to show you as much of this as I can. So there you go, there's the main screen, and if you notice any kind of similarities, you're probably saying, hey, this looks a lot like StarCraft, and you'd be right to an extent. It's kind of an olden style RTS look. You're free to scroll through all of these various elements, which is nice, but you know, on the whole, you'd be right to say this game has a lot of StarCraft influence. That being said, it is not a clone, a la Gameloft or some of those other developers out there. So, you know, it's not totally a StarCraft clone. In fact, we wouldn't say it is at all, which is nice. We were kind of expecting that, and we were pleasantly surprised to find it wasn't so. If you notice along the bottom here, I do have a guest 13651, hi there, saying hi, he's online, and that's because this game is an online game. You're playing with thousands of other players, which is nice, but if you're not into online games, obviously it's going to be a big turnoff. We did happen to really enjoy the community that's here. We had quite a long conversation with some French-Canadian speakers, which was a pleasant surprise. So there's quite a few nationalities and areas playing the game, which, as we mentioned, was nice. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and show you a little bit of the gameplay. As mentioned, this is kind of a cross between those old strategy board games and an RTS in the sense of I've got my buildings here, my basic gas mine, robotics facility, and various other units, and I can click them and then tell the game to research tech, upgrade the buildings themselves, and then I can use those upgrades and research added abilities to create new units. The idea here is that you expand across your planet, gathering resources. I've got my crystal mine over here. And once you've gathered enough resources, you buy fleets, you move on to other planets, you expand your territory into new planets, and eventually you start rubbing elbows with your neighbors. That's where things get really interesting, and if you're into this sort of intense kind of power-grabbing gameplay, you're really going to love it. If you're not so much into that, it might be kind of a bother. You log in sometimes and you find that your space has been taken over by an enemy, which is a little unfortunate. But if you enjoy that sort of thing, it really is kind of an adrenaline rush, especially conquering someone else or gathering a new planet is pretty awesome. We really did get sucked into this gameplay, and we quite liked it. We're going to go ahead and show you that you've got this kind of scroll bar along the bottom that'll show you the various other aspects of the game. You can view your planets to see how they're doing. You can check out the system itself, as well as your fleet. So here's the fleet, and if you have ships, I don't have any ships because this is a fresh account, but you'll find them here, and then you can see what's in flight and dispatched in various other ways. It's very, in terms of design, very easy to manage your content, manage your various fleets and whatnot. And one of the best things about this game that we absolutely loved is this ability to manage resources. You click here, and then you can actually set definite percent values along the side as to how much energy your resource gathering units are taking up, which is fantastic because that's it's really quick and it's simple, and it keeps everything in the same place, which is quite nice. There's also, as we mentioned, the chat functionality, so you can go in here and see what else is going on. We're going to try to avoid that during this review in case anything nasty comes up. It doesn't usually often, but you never know. So with that in mind, the entire game comes with an immense amount of complexity. We were really floored with the depth that's here. You could easily spend hours and hours and hours playing this, especially with the online functionality. You could spend even days just cranking away at this, and if you've got it on your iPhone with 3G, obviously you can be on the bus playing this